There's a question many people have silently pondered, but rarely voiced aloud. Why is it that two houses on the same street, facing the same direction, with the same size, even built in the same year, can have different outcomes? One house prospers, the children excel in their studies, and money flows in and stays, while the other struggles year after year. Money comes in one door and goes out the other. Opportunity come and go as if they never existed. People often blame fate, luck, or circumstances. But if it were just a matter of chance, why would this difference repeat itself for so many years, even generations? In Feng Shui, the ancients didn't call it wealth or poverty. They called it whether a house could retain its energy or not. And the first place that determines this isn't the living room, the altar, or even the bedroom, but the door you walk through every day without even noticing. In ancient Feng Shui, the front door is called the mouth of energy, the place where all energy flows. Opportunities, relationships, and possibilities enter your life. If this mouth receives good energy, even if you're not rich, it's very difficult to become poor. But if this mouth is blocked, chaotic, or pushed back, then no matter how hard you try, life will always feel like it's lacking a bit of luck at the right time, lacking a door opening at the right moment. Recently, many videos have told you that simply placing a certain type of plant in front of your door, especially before 2026, will naturally attract wealth. But today, I want you to pause for a moment, not to deny the power of Feng Shui plants, but to ask a much more important question. Why the door? And why the plant? And why do some people find success while others find things getting worse? This video isn't for those seeking a miracle to get rich quick, nor is it for those who believe Feng Shui can replace human effort. This video is for those who want to understand the true mechanisms behind Feng Shui, to know why the same methods yield completely different results. If you've ever felt that you've tried hard enough, but things still go wrong, that opportunities come but don't stay, that money is earned but hard to keep, then the problem might not be your ability, but rather how your home is receiving and retaining the flow of energy each day. And in this first part, we won't talk about what plants to grow, nor where to place them, but we'll focus on one core principle. The essence of Feng Shui is not superstition, but how people live in harmony with the invisible, yet very real flow that influences their decisions, emotions, and fortune. Once you understand that, you'll look at your front door with a completely different perspective, and only then will any subsequent changes truly matter. When it comes to Feng Shui, many people immediately picture vague things like fate, spirituality, or personal beliefs. However, if you step back and observe carefully, you'll realize that ancient Feng Shui was actually a very serious system of studying the flow of qi, something that the ancients couldn't see but could sense through how people reacted, thought, and acted in their living spaces. Qi isn't magic, it's the sum total of light, air, temperature, sound, scent, and even the circadian rhythms that the human body receives every day. When you enter a bright, airy, and tidy house, you usually feel more alert, make quicker decisions, and have a more open spirit. Conversely, when you enter a dark, cramped, and cluttered space, you'll easily become irritable, hesitant, and tired without needing any explanation. The ancients called this difference abundant and deficient energy, while modern science refers to the influence of the environment on the nervous system and human behavior. But no matter the name, its essence remains unchanged. And if energy determines a person's state, then the main door determines how that energy enters the house. The door is not just a physical entrance, but the first point of contact between all the wind, light, sound, and movement from the outside in the interior living space. A door that is properly positioned, opens at the right pace, receives sufficient light, and is unobstructed will allow energy to flow in smoothly, gradually spreading throughout the house like water flowing steadily into a lake. Conversely, a door that is obscured, blocked, or always dark and stuffy will cause the incoming energy to be distorted, reversed, or blocked, like water being forced through a narrow gap and splashing everywhere. The problem isn't how many Feng Shui items you have in your house, but rather that the flow of energy is disrupted before it has a chance to nourish you. That's why, in ancient Feng Shui, people always prioritized examining the front door before any other area, because if the energy flow is unstable, any subsequent adjustments are merely patchwork. Interestingly, you don't need to believe in Feng Shui for energy to influence you daily, just as you don't need to believe in gravity to be affected by it. When energy flows harmoniously into a house, the people inside tend to make wiser decisions, communicate more effectively, and recognize opportunities sooner than others. Ultimately, wealth isn't money falling from the sky, but the ability to see and seize opportunities at the right time, and that begins with the mental state your living environment creates for you. That's why some people don't change jobs or make any effort, but simply moving house or renovating their front door causes their lives to take a different turn. In this section, you only need to remember one thing. Feng Shui doesn't control money, but rather how people interact with the world around them. And the front door is the starting point for that entire chain reaction. When you understand this role of the door, you'll no longer ask why you should place plants or objects in front of it, but will start asking a more accurate question. How are you allowing the flow of energy into your home, and is that supporting or hindering your path to wealth? Once you understand that Feng Shui isn't magic but rather a way for people to harmonize with the flow of energy, the next crucial question is why. With the same activation method, some periods show noticeable results while others produce almost no significant change. The answer lies in timing, something that ancient Feng Shui always placed on par with location and people. The ancients called it heavenly timing, and in the Chinese calendar system, heavenly timing isn't an abstract concept, but rather the very concrete movement of the 5 elements year by year, cycle by cycle. Looking at 2026, according to the Chinese calendar, it's a year of strong energy transition, where the elements are no longer in balance as in previous years, but begin to form a new axis, with wood playing a key role. In the 5 elements, wood symbolizes growth, beginnings, expansion, and the ability to seize opportunities. When wood is dominant, things related to growth, learning, connection, and cash flow tend to move faster, but also require a clear foundation to avoid blockages. That's why during this period, activating elements, especially greenery, become much more effective than during periods when metal or earth are dominant. Looking back at the previous 12-year cycle, you'll see that years with strong wood are often accompanied by waves of startups, career shifts, and major changes in how people earn money. Those who prepare early often take advantage of this momentum to surge ahead, while those who are passive feel their lives become unstable as if everything is pushing them to change, but not giving them enough time to adapt. The important thing here is not to accurately predict every event, but to understand that the energy of 2026 will amplify both opportunities and stagnation. If the flow of energy in your home is already smooth, then the flourishing wood element will be like water poured onto a healthy plant, causing it to grow rapidly. But if the flow is blocked, the same energy will be like water poured onto hard ground, neither penetrating nor creating a sense of pressure. This is a common misunderstanding when people hear about the year of wealth. They think that simply doing a few superficial things is enough, forgetting that favorable timing only works when the right place is ready. 2026 won't automatically bring money to everyone. It will only highlight the difference between living spaces that are capable of receiving it and those that hinder their owners. That's why preparation now, especially at the front door, is more important than ever. The door is where the energy of the new year enters first, and if you wait until that energy is strong before making adjustments, you're trying to fix a boat already in a strong current. In this section, you don't need to memorize too many terms related to the Chinese zodiac or the 5 elements. Just understand one core principle. Feng Shui doesn't operate in a vacuum. It's always tied to specific times, and 2026 is a period where things related to vital energy, especially the wood element, will be significantly amplified. Once you understand that, you'll no longer see placing plants in front of your door as a small trick, but as a preparatory step to ensure your home doesn't fall out of sync when the major energy flow begins to move. And now we'll delve into a very practical question. What are the differences between plants and Feng Shui, and why not all plants can effectively activate wealth in the coming period? When it comes to placing Feng Shui plants in front of the door to activate wealth, the biggest mistake most people make isn't choosing the wrong location, but believing that all plants have the same effect. In ancient Feng Shui, green plants are not just seen as decorations, but as living organisms that directly participate in the flow of energy within the house. And because they are living organisms, plants bring their own state into your living space. A healthy plant with green leaves and a sturdy trunk not only creates a pleasant visual feeling, but also emits a stable biological rhythm, which the human body unconsciously synchronizes with. Conversely, a weak, withered plant, or one placed in conditions lacking light and air, even if still green, carries weakened energy. And when placed at the front door, it's like a weary greeting to any opportunity seeking to enter your home. This is why, in Feng Shui, a dead tree in front of the door is considered one of the clearest signs of financial loss, not because of superstition, but because it reflects a broken flow of vital energy at the mouth of the energy channel. Another point that many people don't know is the fundamental difference between living plants and artificial plants. Artificial plants, no matter how beautiful, are just static images. They don't breathe, don't grow, don't react to the environment, and therefore they cannot participate in the process of energy exchange in the living space. Placing artificial plants in front of the door may make the house look neater, but in terms of Feng Shui, it's just like a picture hanging at the entrance, creating a visual impression but not generating vital energy. The problem isn't whether the artificial plant is good or bad, but that it fails to fulfill the function that many people expect from a Feng Shui plant. But even if you've chosen a living plant, the story doesn't end there. In the 5 elements, plants belong to the wood element, but there are yin and yang wood types. Some plants are supportive, while others are strongly stimulating. Plants with round, thick leaves and soft surfaces usually carry stable energy, suitable for retaining wealth and maintaining stability. Conversely, plants with pointed, straight leaves and stiff stems are strongly activating, suitable for promoting change. But if placed incorrectly, they can create invisible tension and pressure. This is why some people find their work progresses faster after placing a plant, but their minds become restless, they sleep poorly, and money comes and goes quickly. Feng Shui doesn't just ask what kind of plant it is, but also whether its energy is suitable for the state the house needs. A house lacking momentum might need yang wood to activate it, but a house already experiencing a lot of upheaval needs yin wood to calm and stabilize it. Placing the wrong type of plant in front of your door is like giving a tired person too strong coffee. It might provide temporary alertness, but it leads to exhaustion afterward. The most subtle point, always emphasized by the ancients, is that Feng Shui plants not only reflect the flow of energy in the house, but also the inner state of the homeowner. When you care for a plant every day, you are unconsciously cultivating attention, patience, and the ability to maintain a stable rhythm of life, elements crucial for retaining wealth and opportunities. Therefore, Feng Shui plants are not objects that bring money from the outside, but rather tools to regulate the inner rhythm of life so that people don't push wealth away. If you only place a plant hoping to change your luck without changing how you interact with your living space, the plant will simply stand there, and the energy flow will continue according to its old inertia. In this section, the most important thing to remember isn't the list of plants, but the principle that Feng Shui plants only work when they are healthy living organisms, compatible with the energy of the house, and cared for as a vibrant part of the space. Once we understand this difference, we can then seriously discuss specific types of plants, why some help retain wealth, some open opportunities, and others, if placed incorrectly, can inadvertently drive away fortune. Once you understand that not all plants are the same, and that Feng Shui plants only truly work when they are compatible with the energy flow of the house, then we can seriously discuss each specific type of plant. Because if you only name a plant without understanding its energy nature, placing it in front of the door is like choosing medicine by its name without knowing its true effects. The first type of plant most often mentioned is the money tree, also known as the silver tree. And its popularity lies not in its name, but in its very special energy structure. The money tree has a braided trunk, evenly spreading foliage, and thick, round leaves, creating a feeling of accumulation and retention. Therefore, it is particularly suitable for homes that are earning money but struggling to keep it, or for people whose jobs have unstable cash flow. However, the money tree is not suitable for houses with weak or stagnant energy, as its nature is to retain, not to open, and if placed where the flow of energy cannot enter, it will trap stagnation. The second type of plant is the snake plant, often praised as a shield protecting wealth, but few people realize that it is a plant with very strong energy. Its upright, sharp leaves belong to the wood element mixed with metal, helping to cut through noise, filter bad energy, and create clear boundaries. Therefore, it is suitable for houses near busy roads, noisy areas, or for homeowners who are frequently affected by the external environment. But if a snake plant is placed in front of a house that is already stressful and pressure-filled, it can make the flow of energy too rigid, leading to feelings of insecurity and difficulty relaxing, thereby indirectly affecting financial decisions. The third type of tree is ficus, which includes varieties like rubber trees or fig trees. Many affluent families plant these not for feng shui in the conventional sense, but for the stable energy they generate. Ficus trees have large canopies, thick leaves, and grow slowly but steadily, making them suitable for homes that aim for long-term accumulation, sustainable investment, and foundation building. However, ficus trees need space and light. If placed in a narrow doorway or lacking light, they can create a heavy feeling, slowing down the flow of energy into the house. The next type is Dracaena, also known as the corn plant, a tree that clearly activates opportunities. Dracaena trees have tall trunks and upward-reaching leaves, symbolizing advancement and opening new paths, making them suitable for those seeking a career breakthrough or wanting to start a new phase. However, Dracaena is not for those lacking stability, as its energy can cause things to change too quickly if the foundation is not solid. Next is the table fern, a small, often underestimated fern, but one with very special significance in feng shui. Table ferns create a soft, spreading, and doubling flow of energy, suitable for connecting relationships, expanding networks, and creating many small opportunities simultaneously. However, if placed in excessive numbers or in damp areas, it can cause the energy to become turbulent and unfocused. Finally, there's the maidenhair fern, a slender, light plant often associated with emotions and relationships rather than money directly. This plant is suitable for homes where wealth is hindered by inner tension, family conflicts, or a lack of harmony, because when relationships are calmed, the flow of money naturally becomes smoother. The most important thing to understand here is that no single plant is good for everyone and every home. Each plant is just a tool, and a tool only works when used for the right purpose. If you choose a plant simply because you see others placing it without understanding whether you need to maintain, open up, or stabilize your life, you may be bringing in an energy source that is incompatible with your current stage of life. To avoid this mistake, the next step is not just choosing the right plant, but also placing it in the right location, because even the same plant can have completely different results if placed just a few centimeters off. And that's what we'll clarify in the next section. Many people mistakenly believe that simply choosing the right plant will automatically bring good fortune. But in feng shui, choosing the right plant but placing it incorrectly can sometimes have a more pronounced negative effect than doing nothing at all. The placement of a plant in front of the door isn't about aesthetics. It's about how the flow of energy into the house is guided in the first few seconds. When you open the door, energy doesn't rush in uniformly like light. It has direction, inertia, and a stopping point. If you place a plant directly in front of the door, even a good one, you're forcing the energy flow to change direction abruptly, like water being blocked by a large rock, creating vortices and turbulence at the mouth of the stream. This is a very common mistake, as many people place plants too close to the door, thinking that this will bring in wealth immediately, without realizing they are inadvertently causing the energy to flow back out. The safest and most effective placement is usually not directly in the center of the door, but on either side where the airflow can pass over the plant, be softened, filtered, and then penetrate deeper into the house. However, the left and right sides are not entirely the same. In Feng Shui, when viewed from inside the house, the left side is called the green dragon, representing dynamism, openness, and growth, while the right side is called the white tiger, representing retention, gathering, and protection. Placing activating plants such as dracaena or tall plants with upright leaves on the green dragon side will support opening opportunities and promoting the flow of money, while placing stabilizing plants with round, thick leaves such as money tree or ficus on the white tiger side will help retain what has already entered. But if you reverse these two positions, the energy may be pushed out or retained too quickly, creating a feeling of stagnation that many people don't understand the reason for. Another factor that is rarely mentioned is the distance between the plant and the door. Plants placed too far away won't participate in the initial air regulation process, while those placed too close will obstruct it. The ideal distance is usually when you can see the plant as soon as you enter the house, but not the first thing you should avoid when opening the door. For apartments where the door often faces a long hallway or elevator, the role of the plant becomes even more subtle. In this case, the plant not only regulates the incoming air, but also slows and softens the strong airflow from outside, preventing the house from being swept away by the hurried pace of the common area. Conversely, for ground floor houses or townhouses near busy streets, the plant in front of the door acts as a buffer, separating the rhythm of life inside from the noise and turmoil outside. Another mistake many people make is placing too many plants in front of the door, hoping to increase effectiveness. But in Feng Shui, too much wood concentrated at the entrance can cause the energy flow to become chaotic and undirected. Air needs to be guided, not surrounded. Just one or two well-placed, healthy, and well-cared-for plants often yield far more noticeable results than turning your front door into a miniature garden. The final point to emphasize here is that there's no single fixed scheme that applies to every home. The orientation of the house, the shape of the door, the surrounding space, and even the homeowner's lifestyle all influence how energy flows. Therefore, instead of asking where to place plants according to a formula, the more accurate question is where to place them so that the flow of energy into your home is as natural and harmonious as possible. When you begin to observe how you open your door, step into your home, and feel the space for the first few minutes, you'll understand why small adjustments to plant placement can make a big difference over time. And once the placement is correct and the plant is suitable, only then can we talk about the final step, which many people either over-dramatize or completely ignore. Activating and interacting with Feng Shui in a mindful and balanced way, a topic we will conclude in the next section. When it comes to Feng Shui activation rituals, many people either believe in them as a miracle or completely deny them, considering them merely psychological. Both extremes overlook a crucial point. The ritual isn't meant to change the house, but to adjust the state of mind of the people living in it. Feng Shui only begins to show its true effect when the environment and the people are in sync, and the ritual, if understood correctly, is the way to create that synchronicity. You don't need to perform the ritual every day, nor do you need complicated procedures or lengthy prayers, because if the environment isn't ready or your mind is troubled, all rituals become mere formalities. The ritual should only be performed when three basic conditions are met. The main entrance is clear, the plants are in the correct position, and you yourself are in a relatively stable state, neither too rushed nor too tired. When these three elements are present, a short, simple ritual is far more effective than elaborate methods. The essence of the activation ritual lies in bringing your attention back to the present moment, right at the door where the flow of energy begins to enter. As you stand at the door, take a slow, deep breath, feel your feet touch the ground and the light ahead. You are unconsciously putting your body into a state of readiness to receive, rather than a state of constant defense or anxiety. If there is a plant at the door, gently touching the leaves, observing their color and shape is not a spiritual act, but a way for the brain to recognize a stable, vibrant, and familiar signal. In those brief minutes, you can visualize the flow of energy entering your home, not as an abstract stream of energy, but as small opportunities, encounters, and timely decisions being allowed into your living space. The key is not to imagine things too far-fetched or too grand, because Feng Shui doesn't work through unrealistic dreams, but through small changes in how you react to daily life. A proper ritual doesn't make you believe money will automatically come, but rather allows you to enter your home with a calmer mindset, observe more clearly, and miss fewer important signals. It is these subtle changes that make a difference over time. It's also important to note that there are times when you shouldn't perform rituals, such as when your mind is overly stressed, angry, or desperate, because in those states, any visualization easily becomes forced. And Feng Shui doesn't work well when forced. Instead, the simplest thing you can do is keep your doors and plants clean, healthy, and well lit, as this is already a form of passive but sustainable activation. Rituals aren't the key to unlocking wealth. They're simply reminders that the door needs to be entered with the right mindset. Once you understand this, you'll stop asking how many times or at what times to perform the ritual for optimal results, and instead begin observing whether your mindset changes after each step. And as people change their approach to life each day, Feng Shui naturally finds its place to play its role. In the final section, we'll conclude this entire discussion with a very practical perspective, answering the most important question: does Feng Shui ultimately help people become wealthy? And if so, how? Having come this far together, you probably realize that Feng Shui doesn't promise what many people expect: instant wealth. Feng Shui, if viewed correctly, doesn't make a poor person rich overnight, but it has the ability to prevent someone on the rise from pushing themselves back to square one. When the flow of energy in a house is smooth, when the front door is properly received, and when greenery is placed with understanding, the first change isn't money, but how people enter and leave their living space each day. You start coming home feeling lighter, thinking more clearly, and less resistant to what's happening around you. From that state, small decisions become more accurate, relationships last longer, and opportunities that were once fragile are no longer missed because of a moment of hesitation. That's how Feng Shui impacts wealth, not directly but very sustainably. If there's one thing to remember after this video, it's that Feng Shui doesn't make you rich, but it prevents you from unconsciously becoming poor. It doesn't bring money to your door, but it keeps the door open when money and opportunities come. The Feng Shui tree at your door, therefore, isn't a lucky charm, but a living reminder that the flow of vital energy needs to be nurtured daily, just as you nurture your own mindfulness, patience, and foresight. 2026, with its intertwined changes and opportunities, will greatly amplify the difference between those living in a space that supports them and those whose living environment slows them down. Preparing now isn't about fearing the future, but about being unprepared when the flow begins to intensify. And if you're wondering where to start, the answer is much simpler than you think. Stand in front of your front door, look at it as where everything begins, and ask yourself what you're allowing into your life each day. When you change the way you ask that question, Feng Shui is no longer a distant concept, but becomes a very real part of how you live, think, and choose. And from there, the path to wealth, whether fast or slow, will no longer go against you.